So That's Not How It Works, Realtor Edition. And we just finished our public Facebook Live where we talked about listings and how it's not how it works to the public. So one of the things, you may or may not do this, I strongly encourage you, if you know me at all, you know that I am all about systems because they ensure a consistent client experience. And so we have systems for how we launch listings. And one of the things that we say to people is don't call us when you're ready to list. Call us before you're ready to list. Now, as an agent, this, first of all, lets us build rapport and help clients get to that deep trust space where we need them to be in order to have a great listing experience. But there's a few other things, right, Danielle?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to go back to the systems part it's a plan. Have a plan. And I know that sounds to maybe some of you, duh. And to others of you, possibly are getting a little upset right now with me. But this should not be fly by the seat of your pants, which I feel that there is a percentage. I don't know if that percentage is 1% or 95.
They're not watching us right now, so we can talk about them.
You're right.
We can just talk about them.
Have a plan.
Because they're not trying to get better. So
and so what I'm trying to say, and even if they're starting out and you're trying, and with my mentees, okay, what happens when you're spending all this time getting a call? You got a call. Now what are you doing? Are you going over there and going, yeah, I can list it tomorrow? And then what are you doing? Yeah. So that's what this is about. It's having a plan. So when you tell your clients and you tell potential people, let me know, that lets them know that you have a plan, that you have ideas,
that you're a professional,
that you have marketing,
that you run a business.
There you go. Perfect. You run a business.
Yeah. I saw a Facebook post in one of the groups recently where an anonymous young realtor, well, I don't know if they were young, but new realtor, said, what do I do? Everybody says that I need professional photos and I don't have that kind of money. Okay, you run a business. You don't get to, buy a Jiffy Lube and then say, I know you just paid me $100 for an oil change, but we don't actually have any oil because I would have had to buy that and I don't have that kind of money. See you later. No, you don't get to charge people for selling their house if you don't do it the right way. So you have to have your professional tools. You have to invest in a listing, and you are handling somebody's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of assets. You can't take that casually. No. It's a very, very serious business, and listing is the most serious of it because there's very little room for error.
Right. Obviously, you go to them, you talk to, if they say they're ready to list, that's when you go, you absolutely make an appointment. Yeah. But you explain to them there that this, you get paperwork signed, you can do, but there are steps. It's not going to go live tomorrow with the next point.
We've also, Danielle and I have both shown up to that listing appointment where someone said, I'm ready, come on over, I'm ready to list. And we go there and they just spent a fortune that was unnecessary. And they didn't do the one thing that's really going to make a difference in selling their house.
Correct.
So without our consulting throughout, puts them at a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
And so we were just talking about this. Your cell phone pictures won't cut it. I don't care how nice they are. I don't care if it's the new iPhone.
You're not a professional photographer.
And beyond that, a professional real estate photographer, because I've seen some professional photographer who take horrible real estate pictures. You need to know what to accentuate and what not to, how to, how to take a photo of an empty room so someone feels like they're
angles. Get the right angles, know when to put on the lights and when to have the blinds down and when to have them open up and all that stuff. Toilet seats down. Cover that up.
Yep.
All those little details, right? So it's best to have a professional come out there. And yeah, you have your phone, you might have a fancy camera, but again, unless you do this all day, every day, your profession is a realtor.
Yep. So the other thing, and I find agents kind of pushing this sometimes, maybe because they don't know how to do it differently. The fewer people who know a house is for sale, the less money your seller is going to get. Now, there might be reasons why it's important to your seller to keep it quiet. That's a whole different thing, but that's going to be few and far between. Most sellers want to get the most money. They get the most money by having the most exposure to the market. It's a very simple concept and 100% true. It also protects us from having to take on the responsibility of the market, which isn't ours. If you can say, I did everything in my power to expose your listing to the market is rejecting it, that's how you're going to get that price reduction that you need. That's how you're going to get them to paint the living room that they didn't want to paint. So if you put it in a place where 3 or 4 people can see it, you don't get that.
Well, and really what's the difference? At that point, we're trying to convince, or we're explaining ourselves and our business proposition to people selling their house. If we're telling them they're not going to get enough exposure being a for sale by owner by putting it in Facebook Marketplace, if we're essentially putting it in one place, or not putting, only to our office, or only to, it's essentially putting it in the neighborhood Facebook page saying my house is on the market. Yes, they might sell it.
That's a great example. And we at our firm, we now have that option, which again, I can see I would use as staging. We can send it out to 90,000 agents before it goes on the market. But if we only send it out to 90,000 agents across the world, who, most of them are not even really going to apply, then we're limiting the exposure for our clients. And there's only one reason why anyone would do that. And that's for their own personal gain over that of their client.
Correct. The quick sale. We all want a quick sale.
Yeah.
I want a quick sale. Well, most of the time my clients.
Or market share for your company. That's a stat that I think is typically fudged. Looking at market share is fine in a broad sense, but I have known agents to use that as, we have more market share, and we do it because we have this incestual selling system that we use where we don't give you the best exposure. So we believe in market forces. There can always be reasons why we might want to, with a very educated consumer, someone who understands what they're giving up, might want to limit who sees it, but it's really rare. Our goal is always to get the most eyeballs on it.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think? What do you hear in your market that people have misconceptions about how it works? Drop it in the comments.
Like we said, we'll be doing this once about a month. So we're excited to explore what's out there and the misconceptions of realtors and real estate and selling and buying and all that stuff, because gosh knows there's a lot out there.
Yes.
See you later.
See you next week.